tsohon shugaban kasa Muhammad Buhari suna ba sa yi.
A lot of people have been asking, where is the one-time all-powerful President Muhammad Buhari? Perhaps he may be somewhere in Niger, eating ɓûĉн and rolling on his rocking chairs, because it appears he wasn't at home when some young people visited him just over the weekend. Yes, amid the hunger crisis rocking the nation of Nigeria, I'd like you to take a look at what some young protesters did to the house of the former president of Nigeria, when we tell them that when you loot the commonwealth of the people, the wealth that is accrued will only diminish with time. I'd like you to take a look at what happened to President Muhammad Buhari's house in Daura when the young protesters visited him over the weekend. Do want to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about the actions of the protests rocking the nation of Nigeria and the political crisis. And we shall continually be here to serve you.
I also wanted to continue to highlight the plight of the people in the north as well. I mean, last week I tried to take this video. It was a video of protesters. They were standing in front of former President Muhammad Buhari's home, and they were burning tires and they were upset. Let's take a look at that video.
Suka yi da fifi kofar gidan tsohon shugaban kasa Muhammadu Buhari suna ba sa yi. Ubangiji Allah kawo mana sauki da mafita a wannan kasa tamu. Mutane ne ga sunan sai cacirindo a kofar gidan Buhari, kofar gidan mai girma shugaban kasa Muhammadu Buhari. Mutane nan 'yan Daura sun yi da fifi, an kashe hanyoyi da ke fitowa daga mai addu'a zuwa Daura da sauran wurare baki da. Wannan Daura ce ake fama da wannan iftila'i na tsadar rayuwa. Ubangiji Allah kawo mana sauki wannan musiba da muke fama. Mutane nan suka kai nan gidan Buhari ne, ko ba gidan Buhari ne nan muke ga mutanen.
They were all out there screaming, Bamayi, enough is enough. But you know, the comments that we have seen on Twitter, you know, people have been saying that President Muhammad Buhari really, you know, was thinking that he was loved in his home state. But you can see the crowd out there. That was his home in Daura. In Kano State, protests escalated into violence. A policeman was captured in a video, openly threatening to kill protesters. The incident occurred after the governor of the state, Abati, imposed a 24-hour curfew on Friday. Despite the curfew, some protesters defied the restrictions and continued to challenge the security forces on the streets. Well, in the video, the officer was heard urging the protesters who were throwing stones to stop. Otherwise, he will be tempted to kill. Let's take a look. Well, in another video, a policeman was seen shooting at protesters in broad daylight. Let's take a look.
Ya kashe mana mutane sama da mutum 8 a unguwarmu, da wanda ya ji da wanda bai gani ba. Wasu ma suna cikin gidansu a kwance. Ya kashe har da yaro 'yan shekaru. Allah kai mana maganin wannan mulkin zalunci da ake mana mulkin kama karya. Allah kai mana maganin. Wallahi tallahi sai a kulle. To bisa. Wannan jawabin nasu wallahi. To bisa.
All right, I have a picture of that police officer. If we can pull that picture up, Aya, before you know, we take this other story. Yeah. Also, an issue in the north. If we can have a picture of that police officer, that's the picture that we have there. I mean, people are saying he looks like a bandit, a Boko Haram bandit, and people were even trying to justify it because they were saying, well, he was trying to stop the protesters who were throwing stones at, you know, moving vehicles and stuff like that. Stone and guns, that's what they said. But I thought it was important to highlight the photo of that police officer for security agencies. But you know, we talked about the Kaduna State Governor last week on Friday, and the reasons why these issues continue to fester in the north is because of poverty, it's because of lack of education. In Sokoto State, we saw a boy who had stones. He said that he was going to throw it at the governor of Katsina State. Let's take a look.
Wa? Dukku, saboda ya cuce mu akan kasan mu, ya rike mu a. Bisa wanka da ka ci abinci? Yau kusan kwana biyu kenan rabona da ci abinci, sai dai in je bara abinda Allah ya sa na samu shi nake ci. Allah ya jagoranci abokina. Allah ya jagoranci. Yanzu wannan dai duwatsu mu gansu? Ga su nan da Allah da a ce za a to wallahi da ya mu kashe su kawai.
This is very, very sad. And if that video of that young child with stones in his or her hands doesn't move you, then I don't know what else to say. If our leaders, this is a call to leaders, and when people come out to protest, it is often tainted as, oh, they want to take us out of government, it's politically motivated. What manner of politics motivated that young child? The politics is hunger, that people are upset and angry. This is reality. Look at where she said anything they find to eat is what they eat, they don't have food. And so when the people are angry, you provoke them to anger. When they're hungry, you provoke them to anger. And this anger is expressed in different ways. Now, going back to the previous stories in terms of the conduct of the police, and by the way, people in the criticism of the president's address said that he ought to have addressed and condemned policemen who did not follow protocol.
That's
in
what
terms of handling.
point.
Yes. He ought to have put a strong stance that we protect, we stand with our policemen and our servicemen, but we also condemn any force. I would like to see the police protocol for handling peaceful protests. We sort of saw it before the protest happened because we saw policemen who were practicing as if they were going to war. And people said, if only we had this kind of action, we won't have Boko Haram. There will be no Sambisa forest. Because you were going to, and it wasn't as, and I made a slight comment that, oh, I hope it's because they were showing how strong they would be in protecting the citizens. But we all know that's not true. They were doing it to say that anything that happens, we would. What was the difference between that and what Asari Dokubo said, that you receive water, you become? That was what was being demonstrated. Right. It would be great for us to see what the protocol is for handling peaceful protests, if the police does have that. Absolutely. So that if there's a breach of that, we all can collectively call it out. But when you see in broad daylight the impunity and the audacity to shoot at citizens who are largely unarmed, because, and even have the boldness to threaten death, they can't even use, rubber bullets or things that don't have to kill. It's just the sanctity, the lack of sanctity of human life in Nigeria. And that's why I said earlier that the life of every Nigerian matters. Right. And so if by speaking or doing anything it takes not to lose one life, we become insensitive. So it's only until we hear hundreds of people have died that we begin to make noise. If one or two people die, okay, another casualty has happened. The police needs to sit up. So in addition to the IG coming out to say that, oh, his men were, he should also speak to this evil that is happening. And thank you for putting the work and making it easier for them to identify that policeman who was shooting at people.
You've seen it for yourself. I was actually thinking that President Muhammad Buhari was obviously very loved by his people. When we keep telling this political class that the truth is that you just cannot loot the commonwealth of the people and go scot-free, because obviously the wealth that is gotten will diminish with time. If you have been following us on this platform, you'll find out that we keep saying these things day by day and giving the politicians the reason why they must do well to prioritize people-oriented projects to ensure that they chase away what we call hunger, poverty, and illiteracy. Because the truth is that regardless of how equipped any military in the world is, it can never fight hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. But no, they keep prioritizing personal projects, personal interests, ahead of the interest of the generality of the people. Please do want to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about the actions of the young protesters in Daura, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We really do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is think Tank. See you on our next video. Bye for now.